Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. We're going to unpack the exact neurobiology behind how our digital devices are literally hijacking our brains. Look, if you've ever felt like your attention span is just vanishing into thin air, you are definitely not alone. And honestly, the most important thing to know right up front, it's not just a lack of willpower on your part. Today, we're strictly looking at the biology of focus. We'll use our source material to map out exactly what's happening inside your head, and then we're going to outline a specific, actionable protocol to help you reclaim your attention.
So think about this for a second. What if I walked up to you right now, took your phone, and locked it in a safe for 72 hours? No Instagram, no YouTube, no endless doom scrolling. Just imagine that sudden, tightening feeling in your chest, right? That hollow restlessness you probably start to feel almost immediately. That gut reaction right there? That is the unsettling reality proving we are actively losing biological agency over our own focus to a little glass slab in our pockets. Seriously, you aren't just being lazy. Your brain's natural dopamine system has been systematically rewired.
But hey, before we go any deeper into the actual biology, I'm issuing a pretty strict constraint for the rest of this explainer. Do not switch tabs. Do not check another app, and please do not skip ahead. I'm throwing this challenge out there because there's a very specific insight embedded in this narrative, and only the people who can actually sustain their attention are going to catch it. So, let's see if your brain can handle the challenge.
Right, so here is the absolute crucial point. Dopamine is not the chemical of pleasure. I know most people think it is, but it's really not. It's not the high you get when you finally achieve something. It's actually the chemical of anticipation. It's a chemical messenger that fires the exact millisecond your phone vibrates, and it whispers one simple, totally irresistible directive to your brain. Go get it. You know when you smell your favorite food cooking? Or your phone lights up with a text and your heart kind of races before you even take a bite or read the message? That surge? That's dopamine. It completely drives the hunt. And right now, as you're listening to this, there is a literal biological tug-of-war happening inside your skull. On one side, deep in the center of your brain, you've got the ventral tegmental area, or the VTA. Think of this as an ancient manufacturing plant that just floods your brain with dopamine whenever it senses a potential reward. It's your primitive drive, right? Originally designed to keep our ancestors motivated to track prey. But on the other side, right behind your forehead, is your prefrontal cortex. And this acts as your logical control tower. It handles all the adult stuff: long-term planning, logic, and impulse control. Now, when your control tower and that ancient reward circuit are perfectly balanced, you stay focused, you stay intentional. But when modern tech tips the scale and absolutely overwhelms that prefrontal cortex with high-frequency digital inputs, you literally stop making intentional choices. Your agency completely evaporates. The prey has changed from, hunting for food to hunting for just one more reel or one more notification. You end up becoming a passive spectator to your own scrolling habits, all because that ancient survival loop is being relentlessly exploited.
Which brings us to something neuroscientists call the reward prediction error. It's fascinating. Your brain is just constantly calculating the difference between expected outcomes and actual outcomes. So imagine a friend occasionally handing you a piece of chocolate. The first time, completely unexpected, and that unexpected outcome creates a massive dopamine spike, which drives high motivation. But by the third time, you kind of expect it, so the dopamine response actually stays flat. It's just neutral learning. But what about the day he stops? You expected a reward and you got absolutely nothing. Your dopamine doesn't just stay flat, it plummets way below baseline. And that drop causes this deep, uncomfortable restlessness. This whole mechanism evolved to help humans adapt to wild, unpredictable environments. But here's the catch. App designers have totally weaponized this exact evolutionary quirk to build a digital slot machine right in the palm of your hand. First off, they use unpredictable feed algorithms. Every single time you swipe to refresh, you have no idea if the next post will be boring or wildly entertaining. So your dopamine is just firing continuously, desperately seeking that positive prediction error. Then, they pair this with infinite loops that have zero friction, no natural stopping cues at all. It's totally unlike reaching the end of a chapter in a book. Add in hyper-concentrated stimuli, like gamification and notification chimes, and suddenly they're delivering artificial dopamine spikes way, way higher than anything you'd ever find in nature.
The problem is your brain simply cannot handle that level of constant overstimulation forever. So, exposed to this absolute barrage of inputs, it actually protects itself through a process called neuroadaptation. It actively turns down the volume on its dopamine receptors, which is called downregulation, and it drops your baseline production entirely. The end result of all this? Severe tolerance. All of a sudden, activities that require slow, sustained effort, like reading a dense book, having a really deep conversation, or working on a complex project, they start to feel agonizingly boring. simply because your dopamine baseline has fully crashed.
Okay, let's run through a quick 5-point diagnostic checklist to see if your baseline dopamine health might be compromised. I want you to mentally count how many of these symptoms actually resonate with you. Ready? Number 1, friction with effort. This is like hitting an insurmountable mental wall when you're just trying to start an important task. Number 2, micro-distraction sickness. That's when you automatically open an app within, say, 90 seconds of trying to do deep work. Number 3, severe procrastination, basically trading high-value goals for immediate, cheap novelty. Number 4 is feeling an underlying restlessness whenever you try to sit quietly without any digital inputs. And finally, number 5, emotional anhedonia. This is where old hobbies that used to bring you genuine fulfillment now just feel kind of flat. If 3 or more of these hit home for you, your baseline is very likely compromised.
Now, remember that hidden constraint from the very beginning of this explainer? Well, if you felt a sudden micro-urge to check another app, close this out, or skip ahead while you were listening to that diagnostic list, well, that was your reward circuit actively revolting against sustained focus. Most people miss that micro-urge entirely. They don't even notice it. But recognizing it is the absolutely critical first step to seeing just how deeply your attention has been hijacked by your devices.
But hey, here is the incredible news. Your brain possesses remarkable neuroplasticity. You are not permanently stuck this way. There is a cure. You can actively reset your baseline and cure this digital sickness. The real key to this recalibration is shifting your daily habits away from high-stimulation consumption and deliberately introducing intentional friction back into your everyday environment.
And this neuroplasticity is the foundation of our 5-step recalibration protocol. First up, you need to resensitize through physical movement. Something simple, like a 20-minute daily walk without headphones, stimulates neurotrophic factors that actually restore receptor sensitivity. Second, introduce friction. Don't just rely on pure willpower. Try a strict 48-hour digital detox, or even just set your phone screen to grayscale to let those receptors recover. Third, protect your sleep architecture. Cut off blue light 60 minutes before bed, because deep sleep is when your brain clears out metabolic waste and recalibrates those neurotransmitters. Fourth, train delayed gratification. Next time you want to check your phone, just sit through the discomfort for 2 minutes. This actively strengthens your prefrontal cortex. And finally, spend 5 to 10 minutes a day doing an attentional anchor meditation. Just strictly focus on your breath to rebuild that cognitive control.
Now look, you definitely don't need to fix everything overnight. Honestly, trying to overhaul your entire life all at once is probably going to backfire anyway. Instead, the source recommends what we'll call the 7-day commitment. Just pick one of these protocols, drop a comment below with your starting date to lock in your commitment, and then just do the deep work for the next 7 days. No elaborate excuses, just consistent proof of execution. Give your brain the actual space it needs to begin rewiring itself.
All of this neurobiology, everything we've talked about, leads us to one inescapable conclusion. Your focus really is your life. The things you pay attention to literally construct the reality you experience day to day. So, I'm going to leave you with this final provocative question to chew on. If your focus dictates the reality you experience, are you willing to just let an algorithm write the rest of your story? Or are you finally ready to take back the pen and protect your mind today?